Hey guys, what's going on? I just got a short video today. I'm down in my basement, my home gym. Cold down here. If you've been following the home gym build videos, no, I still don't have any of the material or these walls up. Eventually, maybe. Here's hoping. Anyways, if you watched the first video, you saw that I talked about insulation and soundproofing some. So I insulated all these walls. This isn't an exterior wall. This isn't either. This one isn't insulated yet, but it will be. But I insulated all these, and you can see I insulated the joist cavities up top here, as well as over here. And I'm not going for soundproof per se, but just some sound deadening. It's just a gym. We'll sometimes have music playing. You got weights banging around. So I'm just trying to soften or deaden the sound as much as I can within reason, without, breaking the bank. So really in here, I just have fiberglass insulation. I might have some of the like Roxol mineral wool, safe and sound stuff in this wall, because I do have some of that. So maybe it performs a little bit better, and that on the other side of this wall is going to be living space. So I might try and have something a little better there. We'll see. But one detail I did that I didn't talk about was sealing around the electrical boxes. And to do that, I used CertainTeed's green glue soundproofing sealant. I just picked this stuff up from my local Menards, and I think this is a really good detail for ensuring you get a good air seal for blocking the air and therefore blocking sound transmission coming through the walls. So it's a small detail. It might not be something you think about, but I think it's an important one if you're really trying to block as much sound coming through the walls as you can. I did get some footage of this when I was doing the room. I just didn't end up including it in the second gym video just because of time. The video was getting really long and I didn't want it to be like over a half an hour. It's already pretty close to that anyways. But I can show you some of that, and I can show you some of the details now. So let's take a look at one of my outlets, and I'll show you what I did. It's a little hard to see here because I have this paneling over top of the drywall, and I did it to the drywall, not this paneling. I put the paneling over top. So all you really do is you caulk the gap between the box and the drywall all the way around the box. And that seals around that outer edge, blocking any air or and sound, hopefully, from getting through the box and then traveling from room to room. But one thing you got to think about is also the back side of the box. Now, it can be a little more difficult if you don't have access to the back side. This wall I didn't, because I was already finished on the other side. So what I did here was, before installing drywall, was caulking the wire holes in the back from this side, and just kind of using my finger and smearing the back side. It's kind of a pain in the butt and not super easy to do, but you got to seal up those holes in the back as well to ensure nothing's coming through those holes where the wires are coming through, or even ones that weren't punched out yet. I do have access to this other wall over here, and I can show you what that looks like on the back side. So please pay no attention to how ugly and sloppy this whole thing looks, but I don't really know any better way to do it. When you're using a caulk-like material to fill in holes and gaps and seal the air gaps in this, it gets a little messy. So yeah, but as I was saying, if you have access to the back side of the wall, obviously if this side is yet to be covered up, you can seal right around the outer edge of the box here to seal out that front. But you also have holes in the back, obviously, where the wires are going through, and you got to seal all that stuff too, which really, with using this stuff, is just slopping as much of this crap around these wires as you can to get it good and sealed around those holes. Same for the bottom here. Even with these tabs not broken out, they're still open essentially for air to pass through. So I slop some of that stuff on there and seal that up good and tight as well. So if you still have access to the back of the wall, your boxes can look just as ugly as mine do. Another detail that I did on my walls, and I don't know if I've talked about this. I don't think I did. I think I recorded some, but I didn't put it in the video. So in my gym, and actually all my walls down here in my basement, what I've done with the drywall is I've kept it off the floor 1.5 inches just to possibly help with potential water issues. So if I do have any sort of flooding, the water would have to get up at least 1.5 inches, hopefully, before it would start hitting the bottom of my drywall and then rotting that out, and I would possibly have to replace this. So trying to mitigate some of that, keeping the drywall up off the floor a little bit. So really, the bottom of this drywall is at the top of this bottom plate here on the floor. So with the seam gap basically being right here, what I did on the whole wall, again, since I have access to the back side here, was to just seal this gap right here at the bottom and just up the size a little bit. I don't know if that does anything, but regardless, yeah. So I sealed this up here. Since that drywall bottom edge is right there, I tried to seal that up to ensure as little air was able to pass through the bottom underneath the drywall as well. So if you're thinking about soundproofing a space or room, try to remember this little detail. I think it's important. I used CertainTeed's green glue, but I know there's plenty others out there that you could use that I'm sure work just as well. I think most people, understandably, focus most heavily on the wall itself. You know, your insulation, whether you're gonna double up on drywall or resilient channel, things like that, if you're really trying to soundproof a wall. But it might be easy to forget about all the holes you just punched in your wall with every outlet box that you have. So you may have just made a really strong shield, to air or sound at least, but then you just punched a bunch of holes in it. So you gotta make sure you seal up those holes and seal up those gaps to still prevent that air and sound transmission through this nice sound barrier you just built. So I hope this helps somebody out there. I hope I'm not just talking to myself like an idiot. So if you did get something out of this, please like, subscribe, follow the channel. I plan on continuing to have more and more stuff come out. I'm doing my best. It's hard to maintain constant work on the house to put out videos like this. It's really, it's more difficult than I realized it would be. But I'm gonna try to keep pumping crap out. So yeah, keep on watching. Thanks a lot. God bless, guys.